The brand to me doesn't start until you get to the salon.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't know what kind of experience you're gonna have in that salon.
Yeah, honey.
Because look, the brand on social media, it could be amazing, it could be perfect, but when you get to that salon and it doesn't match what you've seen on social media, those are not going to be returning clients.
Do you think branding is all about your colors and all about your logo? Well, you've come to the right place to find out more about exactly what a brand is. Let's take a look at this Instagram Live that we did a few weeks ago and find out more about what is a brand and why a brand is important to you and how to continue to grow your brand in the online space.
So today, Amanda, I want to get us started off by just talking about what the brand you is. I feel like the brand is you.
Mm-hmm.
Like this brand is me. Amanda, what exactly is a brand?
So I've always told my, workshop attendees or clients, you are a walking, talking billboard. You are your brand, the way you speak, the way you present yourself. So a brand is something that connects an identity to either a service or a good. So when you're branding yourself, you want to make sure that you know your name, whether it's a name, whether it's a concept, whether it's, like Nike, a slogan, just do it. Anything like that that correlates to with a service or good that people can identify quickly, that's what a brand is.
Okay, so when I think of, because this is the salon chat and we're,
Mm-hmm.
we're really, the audience is basically hairstylists, but it actually can be for anybody watching, anybody that's entrepreneur, anybody that's a solopreneur, anybody that wants to be in business for themselves. But when I think of independent hairstylists, it could be someone on commission.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a commission structured stylist and you work in a salon, and say for man, I'm sure you're familiar with a commission structured stylist. They're employees of the actual salon. So how is it important for someone like that to actually build a brand?
Well, so to me, there would be like, two brands within that, which is themselves and then also the salon that they work with. So as an independent stylist, I would want to make sure first that my brand and what I'm doing correlates with the brand, with the salon that I'm working with. So I probably might not be a natural hairstylist at a brand that maybe doesn't have, any, patrons that come in to get natural hair done. So I would just make sure that I'm correlating with the brand that I work with or identify myself with. And then also too, marketing yourself is huge. Hairstylists are hustlers. They have to get out there and find new clients. There's always, new trends. There's, as we know, short hair, long hair, weaves, natural, all that kind of stuff. And so making yourself an expert in your industry and letting people know that, I provide healthy hair services. I also, provide cutting edge services, whether it's techniques with cutting or styling or coloring, and just helping bring out the best in people. I think that hairstylists are probably one of the most independent marketers I know
Right,
because
right.
you have to constantly market yourself.
Yes,
So
yes.
definitely.
It's a process, and
Mm-hmm.
it's ongoing, an
Right.
ongoing process. So I talked about commission structured stylists, but then when I think about actual salons, I think about independent hairstylists like suite owners and also booth rental owners. So in the beginning, because you responded about what is a brand. How
Mm-hmm.
would these type of people, if you're moving from a commission structured salon into a booth rent situation or even a salon suite, because those are very prevalent and popular today. People are moving away from these huge salons, even though some
Right.
people have those huge salons, but they're creating their own niche within themselves. Either they have a suite mate or they're even just working in a suite by themselves. So how would they actually, from the start, like they've never had a brand and maybe they're even right out of school or moving from that commission structure into the salon suite, how would they build a brand or how would they begin to build a brand? What would be a few steps?
Right. So with any, I would say entrepreneur or business owner, the first step to building a brand, even before you think about your logo and your colors and your fonts, is who are you talking to? Who are you trying to reach? So that's the first thing. I would tell them to start doing some research on who their target market is. what do they look like? What's their age bracket? Where do they live? What's their income? What do they do in their downtime? Because all of these are going to be ways that you'll be targeting them when you market to them. Let's say there's someone who maybe had a bad hair experience, and so now you can go out there and you can market your salon suite and tell them, I offer intimate private services where, you get one-on-one attention and that type of thing. And then also too, when I'm working with people on branding, I help them identify the pain points of their audience. So maybe, like I said, someone had a bad experience, or maybe someone is just naturally shy and they don't want everyone to see them naturally. So what can you provide to make the user experience, which is the end experience? What can you provide as your service to help make people a repeat customer? So that's the first thing, is doing the research. The second thing would be what message do you want to relay? And again, that's with any business owner. And then also the third thing would be, what service can you provide to relay that business? So research, what message do you want to bring? And then also, what service can you provide to connect all of those together?
Yeah. So my husband developed this terminology. It's called high tech. And I feel like that's everything you just spoke about. And it's like, when you talk about high tech versus high tech is when the client actually comes to your social media, your Facebook page, maybe you have a Facebook group, your social media, your TikTok, or even your Instagram account. That is the first thing that they see of you. They see your pictures, they see your work. If you have video up, they can see that. And then maybe you have a link. Hopefully you have a link to your website.
Right.
How important to you is not just having an Instagram page to a personal brand, and having an actual website? Because to me, even though your name is on Instagram, your Instagram page, you really don't own that property, right? So I feel like I always feel like people in the industry should have their own website. How important to you is that when you're creating your brand?
Oh, I definitely agree with everything you said, because, with third-party sites like Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter and Instagram, those are all platforms where if they were to go away tomorrow, how would you market yourself, right? And so I definitely still push that whole, website, even with business cards, telling people, even though we're not doing a lot of, touching and that type of thing, with the people that we meet, you can still have a QR code and that type of thing where people can scan and get your website. But the website, to me, it's an online calling card where I can go in and find out about, who you are, what services you provide. It's your whole platform where you can tell a person, okay, this is the user experience other people have had with me. I want to welcome you to have the same experience. Also, incorporating features like, calendar apps, different things like that, making sure, a person can purchase or download something. And then also you mentioned about having intellectual property. So, with websites, that's your whole platform to just, start blogging, let people know I'm an expert in my industry. This is what I do. This is how I do it. And this is what sets me apart from other people. And, the blogging is a lot of work, but of course there's sites like Fiverr and Upwork where you can, find collaborators, or, for myself, I have a hard time blogging. But I definitely, I'd email myself all these thoughts and ideas, and then I kind of just work from that. So I tell people, do what's easiest for you. If it's hard for you to come up with a website on your own, get a collaborator, find somebody, because you're going to need a team. No man is an island. You can't do it by yourself. So yes, a website is still prevalent in 2021. And I just think people should integrate it into their marketing platform.
It's so funny you mentioned business cards, because to be honest, I still think people need business cards. And that's a good option to have if you don't want a physical card. Is have a digital card. But regardless of which one it is, I really do believe that we all need some type of business card.
To add to what you said, I think the website is another layer of professionalism. It shows that, this person took the time and investment in their company to lay out their services and their platform for, potential customers.
Be sure that you click the link in the description section below and join one of our free SalonCHAT Business Mastermind sessions and get some of your most desirable questions answered about the business, mindset, and life. So join a free session today.
What do you feel about people being on all those platforms, or should they just focus on one or two platforms?
Excellent question. I love that. I get that a lot. I tell people start with what makes you comfortable. It's very easy to get influenced by all types of platforms that are out there, and it's easy to get overwhelmed. I have a lot of people that will come to me and say, what do I use which platform for? And so, for instance, there was a gentleman who I talked to the other day who's into cryptocurrency. And so he was just really overwhelmed by trying to spread itself across all the platforms. And so a quick tip that I can tell people is if you're going to use multiple platforms, I would start with the one I feel most comfortable on, the one that you really feel like you can execute the best, and then move on from there once you've got content on that first one. Because what will happen is, let's say you're using a Facebook group or Facebook business page, and you start from there, and then let's say you have a post about, let's say you're an expert, of course, in hair. So let's say you're going to use your Instagram for lives and videos and different things like that. The Twitter, you can use that for a news feed where you're talking about, industry experts, changing trends, what's coming out next with products and that type of thing. So you're still using all platforms like that. And then the TikTok can be something fun like a tutorial, or use that for before and after videos with music and that type of thing. So you're still using all the platforms, but your content across it is a little bit different.
Yeah, that's good. Because I'm telling you, I can get overwhelmed with all these TikTok, Snapchat. I'm like, you know what? I need to focus, because if I get too off focus, it's like you're not getting anything done on any platform. Good idea is to have all the platforms and have your name on all the platforms. And just maybe you don't post on all the platforms, but you at least have your name on all the platforms so that no one else can take your name. And then down the line, maybe you can post some content. Like if you have a YouTube channel, you can break up that content and maybe put a little video, a little snapshot of that video on Snapchat and use the same one on IG stories. So yeah, that has helped me, because I'm like, I'm on TikTok. I'm like, I'm looking through the videos. I haven't even posted on there yet, but I'm just, most of them are like a lot of dancing and moving videos. And so I have to make sure that it's aligned with my personality, what I post, because I might not be doing the busted challenge.
Well, and I'm gonna tell you one of the things you can do on TikTok, which I think is like this hidden field that's on there that a lot of people don't really know about. If you go in and start searching for tutorials or different things like that, you'll see people talking about, how to create vegan meals, how to, with hairstyles or different things like that. So TikTok is a great platform for tutorials, and definitely before and after. So even though you're not doing the busted challenge, you can still use like the same music, the other people are using, and then you just show like before and afters and stuff like that. And then I wanted to go back to something you said about all the platforms. So one of the things that I try to help my clients with is not being overwhelmed by trying to create, all these thousands of pieces of content. So let's say you're going to an event, or let's say you have to do promo for an event. Like before this, I just went on Reels real quick and I just said, hey, join me over on the SalonCHAT at 9 a.m., Pacific Standard Time. That's really quick. And then you can take a video and you can throw that over on Facebook, share it on your feed. And then afterwards, let's say you want to go and write a post on your website about, what we talked about here today, or on LinkedIn. So you're still sharing different types of content. It's just a little bit, segmented, but you're going to share it on different platforms. So I tell people, don't get overwhelmed. Like when I used to cover a lot of different events, I would take maybe 10 videos, real short, quick ones, and I would upload them on different platforms. So that way I'm not like having to stress out about what to, post and that type of thing.
Is it good to reuse content, or is it okay to use content that you've already used before?
Definitely. One of the things that I love doing is, on Facebook where they have those memories, it'll say 3 years ago, 6 years ago. I love, screenshotting that or sharing that over on Instagram, or even reposting that on Facebook. And you can definitely use past content, especially now. You can say something like, I miss my friends, or I miss girl time, or hashtag girl time. Definitely, let hashtags be your friend when you do things like that. Flashback Fridays, or, way back Wednesday. You can use different hashtags like that to when you repost old content. And then use that across your different platforms. And like I said, talk about maybe there was like a hair show, Bronner's Brothers hair show or something that you went to, and said, something like, I can't wait for this to come back, and then tag the company or tag the people that you were in the picture with. so you all can get that kind of nostalgic feeling, because everybody's missing something right now, whether it's an event, friends, or family. And like I said, I think it's really important, especially right now. So yes, definitely reuse that content. Like I said, when Facebook comes up with a memory, I just screenshot that and I throw that over on Instagram, and you can use that in your story or on your feed, or that type of thing. I would definitely start looking at automation, because plugging your platforms into automation, especially if you have an event, or like you're a stylist and you're trying to promote yourselves, or entrepreneur and you have different things going on. So sites like later.com, Hootsuite, platforms like that, you're going to connect your Instagram, your Facebook, and then you can, usually I go in for clients and I'll create like a month's worth of content in 2 hours, or I just spread it out through the week if I want to. And it's there. I don't have to go back, and then I tell them, hey, if you got something special that comes up during that month, go ahead and post, or a picture you want to, throw in there. But otherwise, you got everything set up for a whole month, at least on one platform or more. And it just, like you said, it makes you feel freer. And I think entrepreneurship, the hustle is great, the grind is great, but freedom, I think, is what most of us want.
What is a really good crafted Instagram feed look like? Like, what kind of posts should people be posting? Should they be, because I'm not a big picture taker of myself. I just don't take a lot of pictures. So sometimes, in order for me to get pictures, because I haven't done a photo shoot in a minute, but sometimes I'll be in my studio and I have to put the camera on, timer, and just try to take some pictures, because right now I just haven't done a photo shoot. So I'm using kind of like older pictures, but they're decent pictures, they're professional pictures. But what should that crafted Instagram look like? Because it shouldn't just all be pictures, right? What does an ideal hairstylist crafted Instagram feed look like?
So I'll do the hairstylist feed, and then I'll also talk about just entrepreneurship in general. And you touched on something too that I think is very important. I think that something that I've noticed, I've been working with entrepreneurs since '96, and it's been an amazing ride. And I've learned a lot about the mental role that plays into success with entrepreneurship. And so one of those things is our limited beliefs, right? Like, we think, oh, I need to have on makeup, which I do, but I just throw on some lipstick, right? Or we need to have a photo shoot, or I need to have a new top, or I need to, be on Instagram Live or whatever. And I think that we should allow our clients and the public to see us as who we are. And so I've had video or photos where I'm just like, I'm gonna take this. It's something important I need to get out and I want to say, and I think people can appreciate that. And you look amazing, by the way. You need to get off this live when you're off of this and take some pictures.
Thank you.
Because you're always killing it. So I'm just gonna throw that in there. So I think people want to see that side of you. You know what I mean? I think you should give people an opportunity to see you in that light, because again, we're talking about human connection here. Even though it's over technology, it's still a form of human connection and interaction. And so we have to give people that opportunity to meet us where we are. And so outside of that, I would say with the hairstylist feed, you want to look at, again, who is my target market? What do I want to share with them? What do I want them to learn from me? So a feed, let's say a week's worth of feed, and since the line on Instagram is like, 3 slots. So let's say you do a carousel of a before and after. It's like a client comes in and you take some shots of the client before, and you do a carousel. So maybe that's 6 or 10 pictures. You show the process, that type of thing. Let's say you have a unboxing. Let's say you've ordered some new products from, I don't know, I'm just going to say Cantu or somebody. And so you do IG Live and you do an unboxing and you say, wow, Cantu sent me some, great new products. You should try this, blah, 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 that type of thing. That would be your second one. And then you can do something like a reel where, let's say you're trying like the Cantu product, or you're using it on a client, or let's say you're showing a client testimonial about your services. You can use that in an IG story, right? It doesn't have to be where you're stretching yourself or just coming up with all this content that has to be new. Most people have content that's already there. So you have people that call you all the time, I'm sure, or text you or message you. Screenshot that text, share it on your story, share it in your feed. So that's a testimonial. That's an unboxing with a live or a video. Talk about, maybe something that you're feeling that's happening in the world, or maybe, a short video about Kamala Harris where you feel empowered and you're happy that Stacey Abrams got, that you hope she gets a Nobel Peace Prize. All these different things, right? It doesn't have to be inclusive of just our professional life. Mm-hmm. We should allow people to get to know us a little bit, right? And I think that that's kind of like what we don't do. I think the most successful people we've seen on social media is the people that allow us to get to know them. But let's say you have a carousel where you're saying your 5 top tips for, hairstyles, or your 5 top products that you love and cannot do without, right? People love getting expert advice. So when I do like a top 10 or a top 3 or a top 5, people love that kind of stuff because they don't have to go looking for it and you're feeding it to them. And again, it shows you as an expert in your industry. Or it can be, 5 things I want to change about the world, or 5 things I want to change about the industry. Also be a disruptor in your industry. You don't have to go along with just everything that people are doing. One of the things that I love now about the hair care industry is when I look at a bottle, I'm looking at what products are in there. There's no sulfates, there's no this, there's no that. And I love that. And so maybe you give a recommendation about my top 5, shampoos that have all natural ingredients. I would love that because then I can take that to the beauty supply or wherever or online when I order. Or even, 5 top sites you can order from. So just the different things like that, offering your expertise, showing how people interact with you through a testimonial, or maybe it's a video that your client can send to you that you can post on IG. And then also, like I said, people have text messages all the time, emails that they get from people that show their appreciation for their services.
You put something on my mind to like just take some little lifestyle pictures, some behind the scenes pictures. They don't have to be perfect. Because I don't want to appear like because I'm not. Nobody's perfect. But I want to show more of myself. I want to show more of my personality. And I'm an introvert. So it's just like, okay.
I don't believe it.
But I love people, though. I love people. I get excited when that's why I have this platform, the SalonCHAT, because I love connection. That's why I'm building my mastermind. And just to do a little reset, I'm on here with Amanda Rochelle from California, and she's a social media brand specialist, and we're talking about the BrandYOU. And this is the kind of information and master classes that you will get inside of our SalonCHAT, the mastermind. So I would have you come on like once a month, or somebody that, I'm not a professional. I don't know everything. I'm not a professional at social media. So I'll bring people on like you to interview, showcase your business. So I get excited. I get this rush when I'm talking to someone and getting information for other people and myself included. So we said all that to say, I did speak about, well, first of all, can you tell us about those apps that you mentioned?
I will. And I first of all, I got to say something real quick. Your shoe game. I like your shoe game. So your shoes. I saw a couple pictures. I don't know. I think it's on Instagram. Okay. And I was like, oh, you need to put some of that in your feed too. Because your shoe game, your stylist. Come on now.
Okay. That's true. And I guess
hair and style go together.
You're right. Hair, because my thing is hair, beauty, and fashion. So
right.
I have to, maybe.
Come on now, like that top. I'm loving it. Yeah. Come on now. Come on. Don't stop holding out on us.
No.
She's holding out on us now.
And my husband always tells me that. He's been telling me that for years. He's the one who has pushed me, and you got to get yourself out there. You got to do this. You got to do that. So he's been my support system.
That's right. And even if you're not in the clothes, you can just lay it out real nice and take shots. So
okay, cool.
Yes.
Okay.
But I had to give you props on that because come on now. It's already, like you said, BrandYOU. It's already in you. We just have to pull it out. That's what we got to do. So I'm gonna get back on topic. So you said the apps. So what I did was, I know I had told you a few apps this morning when I emailed you, but then I wanted to add a couple of video apps as well because video is largely a part of branding now, especially since like 2010. I'm sorry, 2020, definitely. That type of thing. So Canva, I love Canva for branding.
Oh yeah, I love Canva.
Love Canva. I mean, they have now where you can do you can add on your group or your team and you can all share. Like, let's say I start a project, I can send it to you. You can finish it up, that type of thing. It's really affordable. I think it's starts at $14 a month, or you can use the free version. Adobe Spark. I really like Adobe products.
Adobe Spark. Yes.
And even though they have stuff now. Yes, it's just I just love the platforms that allow you, especially as an entrepreneur or creator or creative, to just go in and do what you do. And so TechStart is another one that I like. I use TechStart a lot when I want to do like my top 5 or I want to share like information because it allows me to like use a platform for like my carousels. So let's say I'm doing my top 5. I'll do my title slide and then I'll do one slide per tip. And then I'll do that last slide that'll maybe have like my website or something on that. And so I think that's really important to start sharing information outside of just, posting. The content in the post is great. I think it allows us to really like, explain more about what we do, but we're actually going to capture people by what's in our feed. People look at feeds. So if I got my top 5 tips, which is great in my post, that's great, but what is my picture showing? What is my feed showing? So make that, if you're giving advice, use, these apps, or if you're giving, if you have something fun you want to do, like with a fashion or you want to do a video, something like that to promote a show, you can use Canva or Adobe Spark for that. And then also just the ones for video specifically, there's Splice. I like Splice a lot. And I don't know if you know this, but when you take a video, each video has like I'm not sure what you professionally call it in the film industry, but each video has like almost like a slide where you can basically take that slide or that tenth of a second and make that a photo. So I've done that before. Like, let's say I have a client and they say, "Oh, I don't have any photos, blah 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 blah," but they have a really nice video on YouTube. I will download that video and I will take a tenth of a second of that where they're standing still, nice little pose, and I'll use that for a photo. And we'll have like 100 photos, just from a video. So that's an easy way to.
That's Splice.
Yeah, Splice. You can actually do that with any video app. You can take a video, upload it, and then at tenth of a second, like screenshot that or download it as a JPEG or PNG, and then that'll be your photo that you can have. So Splice, iMovie, and InShot. I like InShot a lot because it's really easy. I don't always like the branding on it because to me, as a professional, I really don't like other apps brandings on my stuff. But definitely the video branding is huge now. So
yeah, and 2 things from that I took away from that is Adobe Spark video. Like before I even thought about starting a YouTube channel, that was my thing. I used to put these little fashion tips inside the video at least about 4 or 5 years ago. So if anyone who's listening and has not gotten started with video, I think Adobe Spark is so simple because they've evolved. At first you could only do pictures.
Right.
And create the video from pictures. Yeah. But now you can actually put in a video inside the video and create. It's just amazing. You can add music to it. So I love Adobe Spark. And for their posts and websites. Like if you don't want to create a website on another platform and you just have Adobe Spark, you can do video, you can do posts, and you can create your own web page, and it can be your website, because a lot of times you don't need a full 3, 4, 5, and 6 page website. You start with one simple website. You can have it linked to so many different things, but you can create a beautiful landing page or one-page website on Adobe Spark. So I love that.
Yeah, and the same with Canva too.
We talked about earlier, high tech is when clients of hairstylists first get to see them on wherever they are on social media. And then, so they have that picture in their mind. They have that picture in their brand. They don't know what type of experience they're going to have. But then we move on to high touch. And that's the first idea of that client walking into that salon. And to me, even though you've connected with that person via the high touch and the social media, the brand to me doesn't start until you get to the salon. Because you don't know what kind of experience you're going to have in that salon.
Yeah, honey.
Because look, the brand on social media, it could be amazing, it could be perfect, but when you get to that salon and it doesn't match what you've seen on social media, those are not going to be returning clients. So I always say that the brand is, you have to have the high tech, but you definitely have to have the high touch. And I think that's what some stylists, I'm not going to say a lot, some hairstylists are missing in their brand, is to having that personal touch, creating that 5-star salon experience. It's not happening in some salon suites. It's not happening in some salons. So to me, the brand is basically, it's not just how you look on the outside, but it's how you made the client feel. Because they can have a beautiful haircut, a beautiful natural hairstyle, but they're going to remember most about your brand is how you made them feel. What do you think about that? Being a consumer and visiting salons.
I totally agree with that. And in marketing, we call that UX, or user experience. And oftentimes I will tell a client, write down, a customer's first interaction with you all the way to the end. How many steps is it? What are the steps? Where do you see there was a flaw at? Where can you improve at? Like you said, it may be someone who has a great, Instagram page and, everything is popping. It looks great. And then when you get to the salon, maybe you had to wait, an hour and a half before you were seen. Maybe, your scalp got burnt. Maybe it was pulled too tight. Maybe it was, and now you've had a not great experience but you were led on by the Instagram page, right? And so I think that happens in fashion too. People, Fashion Over, different things like that. A lot of people have had different types of experiences, unfortunately. And so I think you're right. User experience is huge, especially now with technology. It's like, if I could show you my brand is amazing online, then I better be able to meet that in person. And if not, then guess what? Another thing too with technology is I can go online and tell everybody your business sucks, versus like back in the day, you know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
Exactly. And we see it all the time. People get messy and they say, hey, look, I didn't like this, I didn't like that, or hey, this is what happened to me and it was a horrible experience. And Yelp reviews, all types of stuff. So I think you're completely right. Marketing is one aspect of it, but I even call it offline marketing. It's like once you get offline off technology, what is their experience like with you?
We got the high tech, they watch you on social media. We got the high touch, they've come into the salon. Now, how is your brand going to move them and create that return client? So it basically depends on, like, if you're sending out email confirmations for their next appointment, if they rebook with you, or what type of things can you think of, like, as far as social media is concerned? In my mind, it's that email system, having them on your email system, so that, and it's apps out there to automate email systems also, so that once they leave the salon, maybe 1 day, 2 days, 3 days down the line, then there are some apps out there that you can actually get testimonials from the client when you send them the email, if they're willing to do a testimonial. What do you think about that as far as the branding is concerned, when you're thinking about hairstylists and or just regular solopreneurs?
Definitely. I most of my clients are repeat clientele, and I think it's because I offer a very personalized service. I check in on my clients. I follow up with them. So, like, for instance, one of the hardest things is getting people's emails. Emails today are equivalent to a phone number. And so when they first book with you, do you have a way that you can get their email address? Is it through an app? Is it when they first walk into the salon, when they, book their appointments? So definitely capturing those emails. And then also I tell people, when you segment your emails, don't just lump them all together. Make sure you have, who's my top clients, maybe my VIP clients, who are the clients that come in the most, who are the clients that are repeat. Maybe they're 2-year repeats, first-year repeats, or 10-year repeats. Who are my clients that booked one time and never booked again? Remarketing is extremely important. Maybe you have, new technology that you're using. Maybe you have new equipment. Maybe you have a new location. So remarketing is extremely important when you're looking for to keep your clients, and also rebook other clients that maybe you see a salon that's closing down in the area, because a lot of people are out of business right now. And how do you want to capture those people? So another way of utilizing social media is going in, looking, like you said, the people that had the complaints, right? Going in and looking and asking them to follow you, or you follow them. And then maybe you have, some open slides, and maybe you tag them, those people, or maybe you just follow them, and then they give them the opportunity to follow you. Usually about, I'd say 7 times out of 10, when you follow someone, they're going to come and look at your page. And so I think that's sometimes that's a hard sell, with just telling people, hey, come to my office, come to Experience.The service, that type of thing. So you want to take that person's pain points and look at that, and then, bring that over to where you are. But getting repeat clients, usually, to me, is I try not to use the marketing aspect of it so much because it can be personable, but sometimes it's not as personable as a person would like. And it might be like, oh, here's another email again, or here's another post again, or here, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I try to make it a little more personable. Like one of the things that people like a lot, and we've seen this. Baskin Robbins is good at this. I think IHOP, Denny's. I don't really go to those places anymore, but the birthdays. Get your client's birthday when they sign up. I would look at, again, and this is where your customer research comes in at, who you're talking to. Where do these people go? What do they do? What do they do in their downtime? What's their residual income? What are they spending it on? And so you want to capture people like that. But birthdays is definitely one of the best ways. So capturing those things, that helps a lot with remarketing, really getting to know your customers and who they are. So thank you all for joining us today on this chat. Again, Social Marketing by Amanda. And also follow the SalonCHAT. She has amazing things coming up. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Amanda.
Thank you.
To everybody, thank you for joining and listening to us chat about the brand you. So take care. Peace.